What are the things that you like about yourself? Not what I like about myself, not what the person next to you likes about yourself. What do you like? What are the traits that you like yourself? And this is, again, this is another one of those things where you don't want to think too much. Just write down whatever comes to mind. So just quickly write down some traits that you like about yourself. We're not going to take too long, so do it now. And then what I'd like you to do is go through those traits and circle the ones that are your favorite. So 2 or 3, no more than 3. Your favorite traits about yourself. Now, after you've got the 3 favorite traits that you like about yourself, what are your favorite ways of expressing those traits? What are your favorite ways of expressing them? So, for example, maybe your favorite way is to teach or to speak or to write or to do massage therapy or to do, to play music or to whatever it is. So what are the favorite ways of expressing yourself? Maybe you enjoy organizing or supporting other people or networking. Maybe you enjoy designing or cleaning or decorating. Maybe that gives you a sense, whatever it is. So what are your favorite ways of expressing those traits, your favorite traits that you have? And when you're done with that, write down your idea. Your idea. Not my idea, Jose Silva's idea, Laura's idea, anybody else's idea. What is your idea of a more perfect world? Like when you envision a better world, when we talk about a better world to live in, what is it that you have in mind? How do you think the world would be better for you? What would make it a better world? Write down just a short, just a short phrase. And then just to begin, this is just a beginning, you can look at what your qualities are, your traits, your favorite ways of expressing the traits, and the end result, and put it together. I want to use my purpose of my life is to use my ABC in whatever the ways are, D, E, F, to whatever it is. Look at your sheet, just like that. And you can refine it. Make sense? So at least for those of you who maybe came in here without that, maybe it'll give you a little bit of a beginning, a place to start. Now, what we teach in the Silva method, of course, is how to use your inner conscious mind. And it's just as important to know when you're on purpose as to know when you're off purpose. Because that's the guiding purpose system, the GPS, that's going to keep you back on track. It's just as important to know when you're plugged in to that divine choreography, when you feel like your whole life has meaning, that there's a reason, that there's a cause. It's part of this organized system, part of the way the planets move, part of the way your cells move, that you feel like you're in sync with that. Which is not to say that you don't have any free will in the matter. On the contrary, I would say that probably most people in this world aren't plugged into their purpose. If they were, where this world would be a much friendlier, nicer place to live in. And so if more of us could tune into that, I think that this would be a happier world, don't you? Okay, so, but do you also know the difference? I mean, can everybody think of a time when perhaps you felt out of sync, when things didn't feel like you had that kind of like a why me experience? Can everybody think about something like that? Okay, so we've all had those why me experiences where you feel like you're out of sync, like maybe your relationship's not going right, your job, you're feeling dissatisfied, okay? Those are indicators for you. Those are points of reference for you. They're very important points of reference. That's when you know that it's not. It's not good enough just to know when it is. You've got to know when it's not, too. So we need to know the difference between it. The other thing that we need to do with our higher minds is to gain a higher perspective, to get to that 30,000-foot level or whatever, even higher, to be able to look at how our life is. And we're going to do that in the next exercise. And What we're also going to do in the next exercise is we're going to give ourselves a divine gift. So you're going to know from that inner sense, from your intuition, we're going to plug into your intuitive senses, and you're going to intuitively give yourself a gift, what I call a divine gift. Now, in this next exercise, I'm going to talk about your source or your higher intelligence. Does anybody have a problem with that? So you can, if you want to think about it as God, think about it as God. If you want to think about it as love with a capital L, think about it as that. Whatever that is for you, I'm just going to use the term source, wisdom, love, those things, and you interpret it however you want it to be. And then we're going to integrate, using our inner conscious minds, we're going to integrate some of the realizations. You're going to have an opportunity to go through your life experiences and to look and see what are some of the different things in your life and what are the indicators. Is there some message in there? What are the stepping stones that have been there for you all along the way? And you're going to have a moment to kind of let go of the past and step through into the future, and kind of it's a really nice exercise to be able to program your future, program your purpose into your future. You know, the thing is that no matter where you are right now, no matter how old, how young, no matter what it is, you're never ever it's never too late to tap into the purpose of your life. I talked a little bit about my mom, who wanted to be a ballroom dancer and or an athlete. And a few years ago, about 12 years ago, I brought my mom out from South Africa to live with me in the States, and she's great. You know, my mother's a real character. But what I had her living with me and working with me at the time, and it was really tough. It was really difficult. As I said, she's my greatest teacher. And eventually, after a few years, I moved her out. I got her an apartment, I moved her out, and then I was like, you know, I said, Mom, I tell you what, I'm going to keep paying you, but the only condition is that I'm going to pay you not to come into the office. Like, you're not coming into the office anymore. I'm paying you not to work for me. And it caused a big fight. You know, I mean, she was very hurt by it, as I don't blame her. I mean, I can imagine. But I also knew that I had to do it for me. So she said, well, what am I going to do? Because at that time, she was totally living through me. And, you know, I wanted to live my own life. I don't like people telling me too much what to do. So she says, well, what am I going to do? And I said, well, I want you to kind of go back, and we did some of these exercises. I want you to go back and think about all the things that you've wanted to do that you could do. She's like, but at that time, my mom is now 75. She was like, you know, 69 at that time. She's like, but well, what am I going to do now? I mean, I'm too old to do anything with my life, and I can't start over, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. I'm like, it's just like, and we tuned into how she'd always wanted to be a ballroom dancer, and how, you know, she wanted to be an athlete. Long story short, my mother now is a senior Olympic athlete. She has more medals on her wall than what you could possibly imagine. She runs, she does triathlons, she's a table tennis champion. After years of not doing anything, she decided at age 69 that she was going to become an athlete. And she also does board. By the way, I mean, my mother, every night, she's out at her training. She doesn't train, she just goes and competes. Her training, or how she stays in shape, is she goes ballroom dancing every night. She's at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale every night. She's out dancing. I mean, anyway, so that's my mom. But you're never too old. And she's finally, I mean, now at 75, she's having the best time of her life. And so the important thing from that is that we're never too young or too old to really start enjoying our lives. You know, sometimes we just take lives so seriously. You know, we take ourselves so seriously. And what Rosa was saying today was so important. You've got to have a sense of humor. We've got to start enjoying our lives. Let's get serious about enjoying our lives. Let's get serious about making a difference in our lives. Let's get serious about life. Let's not get serious